Today I want to talk about lane collapse. Lane collapse is when a NPC, whether it's a minion, mercenary, monster, summon, building, loses its target and finds a new one. This is an essential bit of any gank, laning phase, or in fact the entire game. At its most bare bones, don't be the target of AIs when they're looking for a new target. These lane minions shouldn't do any damage to you because you should back up, allow them to find a target first, and then move in after that time. To go into more detail, you have to understand how AI works. They are basically A-moving across the ground, and you can do this for yourself by selecting the A button, clicking the ground, and you will move in that direction, finding a target to attack. Each character has its threat range or aggro range that you will need to walk into in order to engage them. You can imagine that here on this target dummy, it's about this size. And if I were to A-move in this area, I'm not going to incur any anger towards this target. But moving closer, Dahaka veers off to the side suddenly and is now engaged on that target. And until that target dies, he will not look for a new target using the A-move AI. When I talk about using the AI in a gank, I'm mainly talking about interacting with the archers. The knights in front don't actually do too much damage, only 5 a hit, and their AI favors the enemy minions as well, and finding something to sort of defend for the lane. The archers, however, are at a 72 damage each, and depending on how many lanes have sort of built up in the background, this lock-on can do immense amounts of damage. Worth noting that the wizard can help out too, but he's still not as good as the archers. This can give you a lot of focus in lane and tell you when to engage the enemy. Right here, Arthas has stepped out in front of the lane minions and was locked on by those archers. That would be a good time for me to perhaps make a little gank on him and do more damage than I'd be capable of doing. Naturally, this works in reverse. I right now would be in a lot of danger as all these AIs look for a new target and I'm taking more damage than just Arthas by himself. You can use the towers as well in this situation. The towers look for AI targets and then favor a hero last, but we can grab him during that collapse. The towers are helping out, the archers are helping out, and that did way more damage than Dahaka himself is capable of. In a gank situation, my level equivalent Dahaka wouldn't be able to complete this kill with his damage alone, but moving in when the lane collapse is about to happen allows me to drag him back, complete that ally lock-on, and do all that damage. You can also use this to start gaining an edge in a 1v1. As your lane collapses and he's outpushed you a little bit, drag him back and see if you can get some bonus damage out, and disengage afterwards. You should apply this lesson with all characters, but be particularly mindful of those moments with extra archers and on characters with CC. This is also a very powerful tool on Genji where you can use his jump to get out front and get all those targets hitting you first so you can put those deflects into a nearby hero. If you are looking to practice this concept, head to Braxis Holdout for a custom AI match. Now, sadly, there's no better way to do this. Add AI, and then go one by one and kick them out. Think about what your league battles as a solo laner. For my purposes here, and for practice purposes, on Dahaka, I'm gonna grab a Sonya and set it to beginner. Now your AI Sonya likes to head top first, so we'll go ahead and put ourselves in the bottom with the intent of bush stalkering up in time for a good lane collapse gank. I can see my lane moving towards her and assume that the enemy lane is also moving at the same rate, coming through their wall and meeting up about here. Now as I'm watching this, I can see that her minions are starting to fall, particularly as she is pushed into the towers. With my next wave of minions, I'm gonna go ahead and take position and get ready for maybe a favorable lane collapse scenario. 2 Marines left. My Marines are already here. We've got a situation where the targets are favoring. The last Marine dies, and I get a couple of bonus shots out, as well as tons of damage from those fellow Marines. Here I can confidently body block, knowing that if she has to run back up through here, she will actually incur my minions. And here we have a bit of a collapse too, with these 2 Marines helping out. The same idea applies when I've got a nearby merc camp. I can drag her back into my mercs here. These AIs are locking on to the enemy wall. They will not attack Sonya as she runs out, but these guys back here are fully exposed. Now I have a Zerg wave, one of the most powerful lane collapse tools available. These Hydras do 46 damage each, and if Sonya's out in front like this, particularly as they're looking for a target, if I can expose her back into it, all those Hydras will lock on. The Ultralists do a hefty amount of damage, as well as the Broodlords, but it's all those little hits from the Hydras, the fast attacks, always hungry for a new target, that are really useful. Here, the wall's gonna go down, and Sonya will become the first thing targeted and locked onto. Now this is just downright foolish of Sonya, but we wait until that last moment when that last little Marine has left and can pull her back in for massive damage.